I know the gospel for today is taken from John 6, but I happen to like the gospel from John 11, verses 28 to 44, to reflect on today's Feast of All Souls. For 2,000 years, this gospel has resonated with Christian people. The reason is obvious. The same four characters in it are present at every funeral. Let's look. First, there is Lazarus, a beloved family member. We can imagine him slowly wasting away each day. Like those burial bands, he is wrapped tighter and tighter, with limitations until finally the last band is in place and he is dead. So it was, with our Lazaruses. Outside of a sudden death by accident or a heart attack, many of us have witnessed our parents or our spouse or a son or a daughter or a sibling slowly dying. We recall too well the medications, the procedures, the operations, the doctors, the visits, the hospitals, hospice. Like so many bands, each of these things are wound round and round until our Lazarus dies. It was hard for me to watch. We felt so helpless. We tried to make the transition easy. But our Lazarus is dead, and we are here today with that memory in our hearts. Then there are Martha and Mary, the grieving relatives. We are they. Now every morning we wake up in an empty bed. Every evening we wrap our arms around the pillow, wishing it were him or her. But it's only a pillow, and we cry. There is the favorite chair unsat in, the empty place at the dinner table, the loneliness, the ache in the heart. We don't like cooking, for one. There is his favorite jacket or her favorite dress. We don't have the heart to throw them out. There is the son or daughter who won't be home anymore for Thanksgiving and Christmas. The child who died much too young. Maybe, to add to the burden, there was a suicide, and we still, after all these years, have mixed feelings about that. There are, in a word, our tears, grief, memories, and yes, anger. If you had been here, my brother would not have died. What kind of a friend are you? We feel Martha's anger at God. We'd like to shake a fist, but we're afraid to. We are Martha and Mary. And next, there's the crowd who came to comfort Martha and Mary. Remember, they are the folks who brought food to the house, sandwiches for all after the funeral. They are the ones who sent us mass cards, called and asked if there was anything that they could do. They sympathized with our loss and felt helpless in the face of our grief. Bless them for being there. But when they left, it was lonely. And finally, there's Jesus in the gospel story. He's crying. He isn't crying like our Western males, a trembling lip kept in check, a muffled sob. No, this is a Mideastern Jew of 2,000 years ago who, like all his contemporaries, throws his head back and lets out a primal scream. This was his friend, remember? And he loved his friend. But we note this Jesus not only has tears, he has compassion. He has pity. He has power that wells up from his love. So Jesus has to bring out the corpse, and he prays, and he speaks, and he dips into his life-giving love and calls out, "Friend Lazarus, come forth." And when Lazarus does, Jesus simply says, untie him and set him free. Today, we remember that Jesus has said the same thing to our Lazarus. Come forth, untie him, untie her, set them free. And off came the bands, the medication, the intravenous feeding, the tubes, the bed, the bandages, the hospital, the restrictions, the depression. And there stands our Lazarus free and shining. Our husband, our wife, our child, our sister, our brother, our mother, our father, have known the love tears of Jesus and the power behind them. They have been untied, freed. The gospel lives once more, and we assemble on the Feast of All Souls to affirm it, to embrace it, and to find comfort in it, and to remember it. Yes, today we live with our memories and our prayers, and if our loss is fresh, our tears. But today, the gospel has been replayed once more. Lazarus, Martha, Mary, friends, and Jesus have again marched across the stage. Lazarus, our loved one, so cherished in memory. Martha and Mary, who are us, supporting friends in our faith community. And Jesus' words that still echo, untie them and set them free. Amen.